Thank you very much for coming. My name is Felix Wunder, and I'm the Hydrogen Business Development Manager at INEOS for France, Spain, and Italy. This is a picture not of our Spanish side, it's in Norway, and today I will present you INEOS activities in the field of hydrogen and what we are planning in Spain. So perhaps a few words about INEOS. INEOS sometimes referred to as the largest company that nobody knows. Perhaps the one who followed Tour de France know us for our cycling team, but cycling is not our main business. We also do chemicals, and as a chemicals company, we are among the top 3, top 4 in the world. We have production sites, around 200 production sites all over the world, mainly in the US and Europe, but also with a growing presence in Asia. Safety is our our top priority. We have a world-class safety performance, and we make a turnover of 60-70 billion euro per year. And INEOS is the European market leader in PVC chemicals, polyvinyl chloride. Yeah? And to produce PVC, you need a lot of chlorine, and chlorine is produced in chlor-alkali electrolyzers, also referred to as salt electrolyzers. And here you see a map of our electrolyzers in Europe. In total, we operate 8 large-scale salt electrolyzers in 7 different countries. And in these 8 chlor-alkali electrolyzers, we produce around 2 million tons of chlorine and 60,000 tons of hydrogen co-product. Yeah? And this hydrogen is already very low carbon. And in one of the electrolyzers here in Europe, we started to use renewable electricity. And so already today, we are producing renewable or green hydrogen. And these 8 electrolyzers makes us the largest operator of electrolyzers in Europe. Yeah? And the co-produced hydrogen that we already produce today is used either internally at INEOS in our own processes to produce heat or as a chemical raw material or sold to external customers. So, since we have this chlor-alkali electrolyzers experience, we have launched a new clean hydrogen business in 2020 under our chlor-vinyl subsidiary Innovin, to launch our electrolyzers experience. And as you can see here, the salt electrolyzers and the water electrolyzers are extremely similar. In chlor-alkali electrolyzers, you have water, salt, and electricity, and you produce caustic soda, chlorine, and hydrogen. And in water electrolyzers, you leave away the salt, you just use water and electricity and produce hydrogen not as a co-product, as a main product, and oxygen as a co-product. Yeah? And because we see hydrogen as essential in the economy, our owners, our shareholders have committed to invest over 2 billion euro over the next 10 years in renewable hydrogen production. So here you see the value chain of hydrogen. Everything starts with renewable electricity. Then we have production, storage, and then the different use cases. The highlighted areas in blue, these are the areas where INEOS is focusing on. And first and foremost, we see ourselves as a producer of renewable hydrogen, as an operator of electrolysis technology. We also have projects on hydrogen storage. The salt we use in our salt electrolyzers leaves behind empty salt caverns, which is a good way to store hydrogen. And then as a chemical company, we have a lot of chemical processes that we need and want to decarbonize ourselves. And of course, we also have the capability not only to produce hydrogen, but to go the next step in the value chain and to produce green chemicals, such as e-methanol or e-ammonia, green methanol, green ammonia. As a chemical company, we have a lot of trucks coming and going to our production sites. Yeah? So also a lot of heavy-duty road transport. And we also have one first project in France where we will use a hydrogen truck to transport our PVC product from our production site to a customer. Where we're not integrated at the moment, what is not planned today is to have our own renewables, but we are cooperating with renewable energy providers. Here you see an overview of our projects, of our hydrogen projects all over Europe. In the purple boxes, you have the hydrogen co-product supply hubs. So these are hubs we are building around our existing hydrogen production from chlor-alkali electrolyzers. There we will take the existing hydrogen production, treat it, compress it to fuel cell quality, and then supply it to the mobility market. The most advanced project is in England, where we've already started building this treatment and compression facility, and we will deliver our hydrogen to the buses of Liverpool, for example, that will then run on low-carbon INEOS hydrogen. So, and this model will be replicated near our other sites, for example, in Germany, Belgium, and in France. In the green boxes, you see our water electrolyzers projects. We have one 5-megawatt water electrolyzers project in Antwerp, in Belgium, where we will produce renewable hydrogen and then combine it with captured CO2 to produce green methanol. Then the next project is in Norway, where we have a 20-megawatt electrolyzers under development, and there we will use the hydrogen mainly at our own production site to decarbonize our own processes. And the next project is a 100-megawatt electrolyzers project in Cologne, Germany, where we will integrate a large-scale electrolyzers into a chemical site, an existing chemical site, and connect it to an existing ammonia production. We will replace part of the gray hydrogen that is used to produce the ammonia with renewable hydrogen to produce renewable green ammonia. And in this case, the ammonia does not go into the fertilizer value chain. It goes into the plastics value chain. So we go from ammonia to acrylonitrile, acrylic fibers, and then this is a base material, raw material, to produce the blades of windmills, for example. So we go from green power back to green power. Yeah? This is a possible value chain. Yeah? And yeah, then besides domestic production in Europe, we are of course also looking at international. We're looking also beyond Europe. As INEOS, we have a very strong footprint at the US Gulf Coast, and given the very unbureaucratic, pragmatic, attractive subsidy scheme in the US called the Inflation Reduction Act, we're also looking at the US as a potential location to produce renewable hydrogen, then convert it to a hydrogen carrier, bring it to Europe. Yeah? And yeah, in Spain, very close to Barcelona and Martorell, we also have a project under development to produce renewable hydrogen for mobility and for industry. So in Spain, north of Barcelona, INEOS runs, owns and operates the Martorell chemical site, where the main product is PVC. And this, here you see it on the map, a bit north of Barcelona. It's the perfect location for renewable hydrogen production in Spain. Why? We used to operate a chlor-alkali electrolyzers in Martorell until 2017. That was decommissioned, but we still have the infrastructure. We still have the experienced personnel to run a water electrolyzers, and we have the grid capacity. And then Barcelona or Barcelona metropolitan area is a very industrial area with a lot of manufacturing, inside Barcelona, a lot of buses around Barcelona. It's one of the main transport corridors where goods are transported through Southern Europe. Yeah? And then in the wider Spain, we have advantageous conditions for renewable electricity production. And these factors combined make our Martorell site for an ideal location to put in a water electrolyzers. So the project at the moment is in a conceptual stage. Yeah, in the grayish box, you see the assets that could be built by INEOS and operated. Everything is around the core is the water electrolyzers that will be fed by renewable electricity. There we are already in contact with potential suppliers of renewable electricity. As a chemical company, we can also go the next step from hydrogen to power to X. Power to X means use the hydrogen and produce e-chemicals, for example, e-methane, e-methanol, or e-ammonia. And then what we still need is a customer or customers. So everybody talks about hydrogen, which is nice, but who is buying? Who will buy it? That's the big question. We have the potential in Martorell to produce up to 14,000 tons of renewable hydrogen per year. We will shape the project based on actual customer demands. So we're based on what is a customer buying, yeah? What does a customer need? Yeah? And then is the question, who is the right customer for such a project? Of course, the first hydrogen projects will need state subsidies, yeah, to bridge the vast difference between the fossil alternative and the renewable hydrogen. Yeah? All the first project will need large amounts of subsidies. But this is not enough. We also need an ambitious customer who has an ambitious decarbonization agenda with ambitious targets that should be reached. And a customer that also sees the added value in producing green products, be it green chemicals, green steel, green ceramics, yeah, that can then achieve a higher value in the market and diversify from other fossil products, yeah, to be the first mover to capture this additional value. So, in summary, we have everything there in Martorell. We have the perfect location. We have the experience from our projects all over Europe to build and operate water electrolyzers. What we need to kick off this project is customers and subsidies. Thank you very much. Questions? Okay. Not? Do you agree that this project needs subsidies and customers, or any suggestions? Okay, so happy to talk to you. Yeah, we're not only looking at industrial customers. We are aware that this is a chemical exposition. So here, probably one or the other company is present who has an ambitious decarbonization agenda, who wants to sell green products. We as INEOS Innovin have the example. We have one biogenic PVC grade, yeah, that is much more expensive to produce as the traditional PVC, but we've made the effort. Our sales teams have looked into the market and found out applications where this biogenic PVC can generate an extra value. Yeah? Okay, the cost difference is not as large as between hydrogen and natural gas, for example, but through this effort and this ambition to be a first mover in offering green products to the market, we were able to make this happen. And I believe that this can also be done in other sectors. Thank you.